Hi guys, I'm gonna show you how I make my climbing ladder poncho. It is very similar to the climbing ladder tee, but obviously it is longer and wider, and I do make it all in one piece. So to start off, we're going to be using today this beautiful, I love this yarn in this blush color. It's called Rosy Cheeks. I'm going to pull from the center because that's what I like to do. And I'm going to be using a 5mm hook. This is my beautiful lilac streamlined metal hook from Furls. And we're going to start off with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 145. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will see you when I get to 145. If you want to add more length or width, I should say, to your poncho, then make sure that you account for these clusters are 5 and chains are 5, so I would recommend adding 15 at a time to give you 2, unless you want to just add 10. It's really up to you and how much bigger you want it to be, okay? But multiples of 5, okay? I will see you at the end of my chain 145. Okay, I'm at the end of my chain. I chained 145 chains, and we're going to start our first double crochet. So I'm going to chain 3 more, and that's going to count as my first double crochet, okay? And then we're going to go into the 4th stitch, so 1, 2, 3, and into that 4th I'm going to make another double crochet, and then into the next one another double crochet, and into the next another double crochet, and into the next another double crochet. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. We're going to go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th here we're going to make 1 double crochet, and into the next another double crochet, another double crochet into the next, that's 3. We need 2 more, double crochet into the next, that's 4, and double crochet into the next, that's 5. Okay, and then we're going to chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so continue this way, making 5 double crochets, chaining 5 and skipping 5, 5 double crochet, chain 5, and then skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th 1 double crochet, and I will see you at the end of this row. Okay, okay guys, I got to the end and I managed to get 15 of these 5 double crochet clusters, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 15 of them. So when you get to the end, just for reference, okay, when you get to the end, I'm going to chain 3 because I like to do 3 chains for my double crochets. If you like to do 2, you can do 2, but I prefer 3. Okay, so that's going to count as my first double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and double crochet on top of the double crochet. 1 double crochet on top of each of those double crochets. And that's 4 and 5. Okay, so these are going to be stacked up like that. And now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will make 1 double crochet on top of each of the next double crochet and 1 on top of each of the next 4. Okay, and continue this way, repeating, making 5 double crochets and chain 5, 5 double crochets and chain 5 till you get to the end of the row. And to make this tutorial a little bit easier and not so long, continue making rows in the same way until you have the desired length. When I get to the end of mine, I will tell you how many rows I did, okay? Just kidding, don't do that. In my poncho, I forgot that I'm going to be making this all in one piece. So from here in the white one, from the first row to where the opening is, there's 20 rows on this one, but I do want this poncho to be like maybe 4 rows wider or longer than the white one. So I'm going to do like 24, 25 rows, okay? So just for reference, because I do want this one, this rose color one, to be a little bit longer, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do 24 or 25, and then I'll see you, maybe I'll do 24, and I'll see you at the end of my 24th row, okay? All right, guys, so here is my first panel. I have completed 26 rows. So there's 2 here, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. One thing I want to note is that I did start the pattern with a 5 millimeter hook. And you can see here my stitches are a little bit bigger, the first 3 rows, and then I switched to a 4. The stitches are a little tighter here. So when I do my other panel, I will do the last 3 rows back in the 5 just to even it out, but I do like the tightening, the tighter stitches. So it's really up to you if you want to use a 4. Both a 4 or a 5 would be great, okay? And so I have 26 panels. So what I'm gonna do now is turn my work, and I'll explain to you what I will be doing for the next few rows. So what I did here was I found my center column, and I just folded the work and matched up my columns to make sure I found the center here. And just, you have to decide how wide you want your neck opening. For me, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns worth. If you don't want it to be off the shoulders like I do mine, then you may want to bring in your stitch markers a little closer, okay? But for me, for reference, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do now in row 27 is begin as usual with a chain 3, do my double crochets here and my chains, and I'm gonna go all the way up to the 5 chain here. And so when you are counting for these columns here for the opening, there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 chains. So when I get to right here, I'm going to finish my 5 and then chain 45 more chains to account for all of this, which will be my opening. And then I will do my next 5, so that's 50 chains. And really, if you're counting this here, will be 55. So from here, I will make 55 and then continue on with my double crochet chain 5 all the way to the end. And then when I come back the next row, I will continue my pattern. And when I get to the chain, I will continue this pattern on the chain, and I will show you that when I get there. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and start and then show you when I get to this side of the chain. Okay guys, so here I started my row as usual. When I got to my stitch marker here, I began my chains here, and I did a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and I went ahead and chained those other 5, 55, and that means I'm going to be attaching my next double crochet right here and continue the pattern that way. Let me finish my cluster here of 5. There's 4 and 5. And notice how this is now going to be your neck opening, and we will continue working down this row here to the end, and then I'm gonna start the next row and come back and I'll show you when I get to this part, okay? Okay, so I've crocheted my way back the other way. Now I'm getting ready to crochet into my chain. I did my 5 double crochet clusters here. I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into this next one I'm going to start my next double crochet. Oh, never mind, I forgot to chain 5. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then into that one make your double crochet, and then to the next one. That's 2. If you have to turn it to see the stitch correctly, you can do that. I already can tell from this side where to go. 3, 4, but essentially you're just going into that little space there. Okay, and 5. All right, and you're going to continue this way. Don't forget to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th you'll make your double crochet and continue in the same way all the way to the end of the row. Okay, so just keep going that way. And so this row will count as your first row of your other panel, right? And I told you that I did 26, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So this will count as my first row. After this row, I'll do 25 more, obviously. However, you can make, if your panel was shorter or longer, then just make sure you do the same amount of rows on the other side. Okay, so I will see you when I finish my 26 rows, and then I will show you what I do next, okay? Keep going, you're almost there. Oh, one thing. So far, just for reference, this is what's left of my 7-ounce skein. So I will probably just have enough to finish this row, and I will have to switch over to my second skein, okay? All right, I'll see you at the end. Okay guys, so I completed my beautiful poncho. It is here on my mannequin, and when I placed my poncho in this direction where the columns are going up and down like this, this is the border or the edge where I add my fringe, and I did go ahead and cut 11-inch strips, and I attached one strip at the end of each row. Okay, and you can see one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Okay, so just as simple as just one 11-inch piece of yarn attached to the end of each row. Okay, and I did that from this tip here all the way up and across the back, and also on this side from this row all the way across across to the other side. Okay, one piece at the end of each row, and that was just enough yarn to add the fringe. This is what I had left from my second skein. Okay, remember I used a total of 2 skeins with just a little bit left over, so you will have just enough if you do the same size that I did. And for me, I did 26 rows on each panel. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end, and I will see you on the next one. Happy crocheting, guys. Bye.